well, I need to fix that, don't I? Because it just rudely cut off my intro song and just took us right to where we needed to be. I gotta work on that. Also, I am still loading everything up on my desktop, so please forgive me for not being completely ready, and that is going to be the theme of tonight's live stream, just so you know. I am not fully ready for any of the things, including the snow that's going to be coming my way tomorrow night. I think it's already on the way. It can stay away as far as I'm concerned. Hey friends, happy Friday night. For most of you, this is probably going to be a long, cold weekend, which is perfect for sewing. And that is perfect for me because I'm a little bit behind on my Star Cabins quilt, and I'm hoping to get caught up while sitting inside and bundled up in layers and hoping like heck we don't lose power. Excuse me while I clean my glasses so I can actually see all of you. Hope you are all having a wonderful weekend, and I hope you'll get to spend it safe, warm, and doing what you love. And I can't read the chat, so I feel like I'm just talking to a wall right now. All right, I think that's good. All right, oh, there we go. It looks like there is, okay, lots of people are talking. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. So let me tell you what we're going to be working on tonight. I think the audio is coming through okay, so if it's not, please let me know, but I think it is. I think it is. Melody says she is watching from sick bed with the stupid flu. Oh no, I hope you get better soon. I hope you get better real soon. Okay, couple of announcements for you before I dive into the project. The first one is, if you did not know, I am partnering with Holly Quilt Shop to teach a series of classes, some in person and some virtual, and all of them are available on Holly Quilt Shop's website as well as mine. So if you want to check those out, you can pop over there and see them. For the month of February, I am not teaching any classes because February is a packed month. It's my birthday, it's my husband's birthday, it's Valentine's Day, it's QuiltCon, and it's the shortest month of the year. So I will not be holding a workshop in February, but I'm going to make up for it in March because I'm not teaching just one, not just two, but 3 in-person classes at Holly Quilt Shop. We're going to be doing English paper piecing. Each class is going to be limited to 10 people a person, or 10 people a class. So if you want to be there, sign up. The tickets are available on my website. They're also available on Holly Quilt Shop's website. And I think you can maybe even buy them in store at Holly Quilt Shop. So just check those out. We will be having additional sessions and teaching sessions as the year rolls out, but it's yeah, it's just been a thing. It's just been a thing. So I need a little bit of, I see questions in the chat and I'm getting distracted by them. They're on my list of, I'm just going to talk to you. I'm not going to look at the chat because otherwise I'm not going to be able to get through all of the stuff. Alicia is telling me that the tickets are only available for sale on sewbecca.com. If you go to Holly Quilt Shop's website, it does direct you over to my website. So you just hop over to sewbecca.com. You can pick up one of those seats. I will tell you, as of like 2 o'clock this afternoon, it was more than half sold out. So more than half sold out for all 3 sessions. So I think we only had like 10 or 15 seats left as of this afternoon. So if you are hoping to take an EPP class with me in person in the Michigan area, get your ticket now. There will be an opportunity to do it virtually if you are not in Michigan. You'll want to stay tuned for that information. We're probably roll that out in the next couple of weeks. Okay, couple of other announcements that I want to get through. The 2025 Quilt Along. I have been just completely overwhelmed with everything else going on in my life. So I haven't had a chance to actually sit down and film and do all the things for a tutorial video on how to put that block or that quilt together. So what I am going to do, I am going to let the video slide and I am instead going to write up a pattern that'll show you how to put everything together. And then if I can record a short video just kind of talking about it, I will do that later. But right now it's just going to be pattern only. There's just a lot of stuff that's on my plate and I don't have the bandwidth to write the pattern, film the tutorial, record the tutorial, plus keep up with all the other commitments that I have. So I'm going to take a page from other sew-alongs that have done the block of the month series, and then at the end they just give you the finishing pattern to put together. So that's what we're going to do for this time. There is a Zoom this weekend for VIP members. Again, if you are not a member of my VIP program on my website, you can pop over there, join the VIP program, and the link and everything for the Zoom is on the website. So you'll have to log in to get the link. It's from 2 to 6 on Sunday. So definitely check that out. All right. What other announcements did I have? I think that was it. If anybody's in the chat and you've Alicia, Ian, Mary, if there's something I forgot to mention, just let me know, hit me up on the side. Tonight we are continuing our sew along with the Star Cabins quilt. Now, if you remember, this is a pattern that we got from Center Street Quilts, and it's really cute. You make these little 6.5-inch star blocks, and then you basically make this the center of a log cabin block. On one side of the log cabin block, you're putting the background, and then on the other side, you're doing some really fun colors. And so I've got a couple of the blocks hung up here that I have finished. Spoiler alert, that's all I finished. I had wanted to last weekend sit down and finish making all the blocks, but I had some family emergency stuff happen last week and I just was not able to sew much of the weekend. And so this had to wait. Fortunately, there's 5 weeks in the month, 5 Fridays in the month of January. So I've got enough time to get caught up. Plus, it sounds like I'm not going to be able to leave my home anytime soon. So as long as the power doesn't go out, I should be able to make progress. I'm hoping to have all of my blocks put together before next Friday's live stream because Ian is going to join me here in the sewing room. We're going to have this quilt loaded on the long arm and I'm going to walk you through my process for how I'm quilting it. So that, that should, yeah. I think that should do all the things. That should do all the things. There is one more announcement that I did forget, and I want to make sure everybody's tracking this. For the month of February, we're going to continue this sew along theme where we pick one pattern and we dissect it into Friday night segments. You can watch me work on it. I will always have homework because I'm not going to be able to get that entire piece, that entire segment finished in a live stream. So feel free to sew along with me over the course of the month. Next month, we're going to be putting together Cozy Cabins quilt pattern. I don't remember who does it, but a link for that pattern will be on my website, so you can pop over there, check it out, pick it up, and if you are interested in sewing that with me, I would love to see it. Also, if you guys have done this with me, make sure to post a picture in the Facebook group because I think next week we can do a little Ian, you're funny. Next week we can do a little sew and tell with what your quilts look like compared to what mine looks like. Ian's saying if the power goes out, you can just use your hand crank machine. You're not wrong, but I could also just do some hand sewing, which is probably what I will do. All right. Jonathan's saying that Ian has an announcement that was teased in his last live. Ian, do you have an announcement for my live stream? Like, I was not aware that you had an announcement on maybe you have an announcement for your live stream. All right. So tonight, to get through everything, I am going to just do some chain piecing. I've got 14 blocks, 14 star blocks here that still need to be bordered out. And so the most efficient way that I think I'm going to be able to get through this is to pick up one piece, one cut of fabric, and just do the same thing to all 14, and then trim, like cut all those apart, press them, rinse, lather, repeat. And I'll just keep doing that until it's about 9:30 or so, and we'll call it a night. So we're going to start by putting a background piece on the right side of our star block. So I'm going to come in here and get these, and I'm just going to attach all of these on. I'm going to get a little scrap, a little leader and ender to put in the machine to make sure that I've got a tidy start and finish. And we'll go over to the 3-cam setup so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, I did have one more announcement. Yes, that's right. So Alicia has really started chatting with has started chatting with Bill, who is a good friend of ours. He will be at QuiltCon with us next month, and they've been texting back and forth, and I am supposed to wish William a happy birthday because it is his birthday today. So if you guys see Bill Imhoff in the chat, make sure to tell him happy birthday from all of you, all of me, all of Alicia, all of everybody. All right. Is everybody ready for all the snow that's going to come? Are you guys all set? Like, I don't know, this is going to be a thing. This is going to be a thing. I'll be honest, I was not even tracking the storm until about, yesterday. I didn't even know there was a storm coming. How bad is that? We will hopefully not lose power, knock on wood. But if we do, we've got firewood and plenty of quilts. And so we're going to build a fort in the family room so that the fire kind of insulates we have a warm room. We'll all huddle together in the family room. Got matches? I would rather have snow than this bitter cold. It's 40 below zero here. That's from Georgia McCroy. Oh my goodness. Oh, Deb's birthday is next Thursday, the 29th. Happy early birthday, Deb. How many of you are going to be in Raleigh for QuiltCon? I'd love to see hearts in the chat for those that are going to be at Raleigh. Oh, Ann Daly's birthday is today as well. She said, my birthday's today too. Happy birthday, Bill. Let's party. Happy birthday, Ann. Doobie doobie doo. I have an idea for the sticker that I'll be creating for QuiltCon. I'm really excited about it. I already know what the image is going to be. I need to send that off and put in an order for my QuiltCon stickers so that I am sure to have them before I leave for Raleigh. Cozy Cabin by Modernly Morgan. Yes, that's it. Thank you. That is the pattern that we will be doing in the month of February. And I've gotten the comments from several of you out there. Well, not several of you. I think it's like 2 people that I hear this from. Anytime I do a sew along or show a pattern that you have to buy, there's always 1 or 2 that are like, oh man, I gotta pay for the pattern. Well, yeah, you do, because I'm not gonna give away the pattern for free when it's not my pattern. So I want to balance some of free patterns in with some of the paid for patterns. So I am looking for the month of March at trying to source a free pattern. I will not always do free patterns because quite honestly, there are so many patterns out there, paid for or free, that are wonderful quality that I want to make. I don't want to limit myself just to those things that are free. Don't forget, if you don't want to do the project, you are more than welcome to sew with me. You don't have to work on what I'm working on. We can just hang out. If the $10 or $12 that it costs for you to buy the pattern prohibits you from sewing that project, then pick something else. I'm here for it. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So then why do I have only one of these left? I need more of this size and I don't have them. So I think what I'm going to do, let me just count, make sure I have 14 of the next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I do. I don't know where these went, but I am going to, I've got some scraps over here. They are not the same width. Okay. 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 Calm down. Ooh, but this might be, I just need 3. Oh, look at that. That's pretty doggone close. So is that 3? It is 2. 1 and 2. Do we have any more? I do. Look at this. So I will have to trim it a little bit, but it will get the job done. So I'm just going to give these a little press to get that crease that's in the middle out of it. Gotta heat up the iron. Becca, girl, you just keep piling stuff on that full plate of yours. I do. Yeah, I know. I like to stay busy. I like to stay busy. But I also know that sometimes I can't do all the things. So, I didn't know a year ago when I started the sew along that I would be doing what I'm doing now. I committed to do the 12 patterns and the 12 videos. I did all of those. So the sew along, unfortunately, I did not anticipate having the issues that I did to get that done. So. Georgia says, pattern cost is not my problem. I just have other projects to work on. I'm doing applique blocks right now. See, that's the beauty of this. You can work on whatever your little heart desires. It doesn't have to be the pattern, free, purchased, or otherwise that I'm doing. This is just a wonderful time for us to hang out, sew, and be creative together. Right? Right. Hello from ridiculously cold Wichita. Hello. On January 29th, Modernly Morgan has a new pattern coming out. So she puts all her patterns for sale for $9.99. If anyone still needs the pattern, get it next weekend. Oh, that's great. Nice idea. I didn't know about that. I only need 3, so I'm going to leave this as my extra scrap. I'm going to look for a rotary cutter. Ah, here it is. Cheryl Christopher says her birthday was Tuesday and her grandson's birthday is today. Happy birthday! Get off of there. Get off of there. All right. Hopefully I won't have that issue with the other pieces. You're welcome. Gamma says, that's at least 3 of us from Wichita tonight. We have a whole audience from Wichita, huh? Y'all should get together and sew together. Maybe not tonight. It's probably too cold. For those of you that took the, did I drop a star block? Because I feel like I had a third one. Okay, I don't know where it went. If you see it, let me know. Sew onto a leader and ender. All right. Freezing cold, sews for fun says, in Roanoke, Virginia. Oh my goodness. It's pretty much freezing all over the U.S., isn't it? Cut. Thank you. Okay, now for all of these, I'm just going to press the seam out to that piece that I just attached to my star block. I'm going to do them all, and then I will start adding the next piece. If anyone has ideas for my QuiltCon sticker, Alicia is saying, please let me know. I think Ruby is going to be the hero of my sticker this year. Cheryl says, the freeze hits us Monday. Hey, Sean. Sean, the guy who sews, is here. He says, good evening to everybody. Hello, Sean. Mary, will you make sure that the bot is working, that it's turned on? And then, Sean, if you could type out exclamation selfie, I want to see if it's dropping channel links, because it wasn't last week or the week before. Oh, negative 45 in Alberta. No, thank you, Patty. No, ma'am. You keep that negative 45. Where do you order the stickers from? I have a couple of companies. One of them is Sticker Mule, and then the other one is Sticker App. I've used both of them, and I've been happy with both. Hello from Tennessee. Looks like exclamation selfie isn't working. Mary, can you make sure that the bot is turned on and that the exclamation selfie command is enabled? Hey, Tiff. She says, hey, Becca, I am at the PC getting ready to edit. And then I didn't see anything else because it went away. I just, you guys, Tiffany's going to be here the 17th, the day before we leave for QuiltCon. She's staying for about, I think about 2 weeks. So we'll be here for the weekend. She'll come up, and then the next day we'll drive down to Raleigh, and we'll be in Raleigh for QuiltCon. And then after that, I think we're just going to kind of hang out at home. I know for those of you that follow Tiffany, you know she struggles with MS, and she's been having some. She struggles with MS, and so doing a lot of physical stuff can cause her to be in a flare-up. And so we're not going to overdo this trip. Last time she came out to visit, we did QuiltCon, and then the next weekend we drove all the way down to the coast and went to another quilt show. And I don't know that we're going to be able to do both of those because I think it's just too much. It's a lot, especially because she's already going to have to fly out here, and it's the whole thing. It's the whole thing. All right. So I have now got my piece sewn onto the right. So now I'm going to sew the next size black onto the bottom of all of these. And we're just going to keep chain stitching away. I wonder if I do this. Huh, it is in the commands and it's not working. Okay, it's broken. I'll have to investigate it. Let me know if the audio is okay like this. Is there an echo? Is it coming through okay? Do you hear Ruby nice and loud? Maybe I just need to look at all of the commands for my chat bot, because it looks like even Friends isn't working. Audio is fine. Okay. Anybody else want to give feedback on the audio? Because I'm sure somebody out there does. Usually the feedback I'm looking for at this point is, oh my gosh, Ruby is chef's kiss. Like, tell me how great she sounds. Oh, Alicia, you'll get to meet Tiffany at QuiltCon. I just realized that because she'll be there with us. We're going to be rooming with her. It's going to be you, me, Mary, and Tiffany. Tiny Talkie Tina says, she sounds better than some of those newer models. I personally love the sound of a vintage sewing machine. It pulled me in and I never want to look back. Hello, Michelle. She is here from freezing New York. Hello. Hello, Barbara. Looks like she just popped in too. Hello, Barbara. Ruby is pretty, isn't she, Norma? She is pretty. Melody says, Ruby's purr makes me feel better. She makes me feel better too. I'm sad that I don't get to play with her as much as I used to. That just means that the time I do have in front of the sewing machine needs to be quality time. I won't. Beverly says, Becca, please take good care of Tiffany and don't let her overdo. I won't. In fact, I texted her yesterday or the day before and I was like, hey, do you have your scooter for QuiltCon yet? And she was like, no, I'm working on it. I was like, great. I have one already for you. So we've already got her a scooter locked and loaded and reserved for all 4 days at QuiltCon. It's going to be interesting because Mary hurt her knee at Disney World, so Mary's going to be on a scooter too, at least for part of the time, because her knee's really, really bothering her. So I'll be walking in between two scooters. Just look for the two ladies racing on scooters and I'll be in between them. Somebody asked, what model is Ruby? Ruby is a 1951 Singer 301. I got her for $50 off Facebook Marketplace. She was in great working condition. She did not have her short bed though. I had to put that on there. And so I sent her down to a friend of mine who touched her up and repainted her. He painted her custom bed for me. I'm missing a piece for this one too. Okay, I will take care of that off the live stream. I'm just going to get as much done as I can. Whatever pieces I have cut is what I'm going to sew. Mary, you have a scooter. Don't worry about your family. We're all set. You don't bring theirs. There's one for you already. Tiffany said, I can't wait to visit everyone and get all the hugs. Me too. Melody says, I would love to make it to QuiltCon someday. Well, next year it's going to be in Atlanta if that's closer to you. I will probably, I don't know if I'm going to go to Atlanta or not. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence. On one hand, it's a quick drive from Mary's house. On the other hand, it's Atlanta. All right, now I'm going to press all of these. I'm going to finger press them first and then I'll do a heat press. And in fact, you know what I am going to do, because I'm not cutting tonight, I am just pressing. So I'm going to take this cutting mat off of my table. That way you can see me pressing the blocks, right? All right, let's just pick her up and move her over, shall we? Oh, I just dropped a ruler. Don't tell anybody. I'll have to pick that up before I walk on it. There we go. Just like that. Now I'll put this up here. Oh, look at that. Now you can see what I'm doing. Now you can see. Okay, this is the one that I didn't have a piece for. So now I'm just going to go through and press all of these. And you'll notice as you're seeing these that my points aren't always perfect, and that's okay, because by the time this is put together, quilted, and washed, nobody's going to really notice it. And this isn't a quilt that I am looking to enter into quilt shows. It is a quilt that I am envisioning somebody is going to snuggle with. Deborah says, hi, I'm from freezing cold Ontario. No good. No good, Deborah. Oh, are the Zoom links not on the website, Alicia? Is that what we're talking about? We'll send out an email to all the VIP members either tonight or first thing in the morning, so you guys have the link, and then we'll make sure to put those on the website. I just think the page hadn't been updated. Becca, does QuiltCon not have an app this year? It should. It has an app every year. Usually you'll get an email with how to get into the app shortly before QuiltCon. I think a couple weeks before. Free Spirit says, Becca, I have a feral kitten who is totally engrossed in your every move. Listen, I love that. And keep her on that side of the camera, because I am highly allergic to cats. So no thank you. But I bet she's lovely. For those of you that took the FPP class last weekend, don't forget that we have, don't forget that I got sidetracked. For those that took the FPP class last weekend, I did record the session as promised, and it is already up on the website. So you got an email before the class started with a link where you can go and download the pattern. That same link will open up a page that has the video already there for you. So you can go and watch that and download the pattern and try your hand at it either again if you were in the class, or if you weren't, you can take your makeup virtually. All right. I've got all those done. So now I'm going to start adding color. So I'm going to pop over to the prints and we're going to pull the shortest one first. So I've just got this whole pile and I'm going to start adding them. I'm not even going to worry about what order they're in. I'm just going to start adding them to this side. I'm going to take the time to line everything up right now, and then that way I can just sit over here and sew. I'm not worrying about getting it perfectly lined up. I am just setting one fabric right side together on top of the block, and then I'll fix it when I get over there. I am going to probably, after I get my first full lap all the way around, my first 4 pieces surrounding that star block, I will probably take a moment to square it up just to make sure that I'm dealing with a good size. It's going to give me better results if I do that. Oh my goodness, Alicia said, this is my fault. Becca made all the links and I didn't see them. I will update the page ASAP. I just found them. Thank you, Alicia. Appreciate you. Okay. Now I'm going to come over here and sew all these on. Try and get this. I started on my mini quilt for the QuiltCon swap and it's almost put together. I can't show you guys the project though, because I don't want to ruin the surprise for my swap partner, but let me just say I'm going to make another one of these and it's going to be for me. Tiffany said, hey, have I ever mentioned how I can't stand the computer part of my quilting journey? It's seriously boring me. If you are tracking this, Holly Quilt Shop is hosting a 4-month sew along to make a table runner, and it's going to be on the last Saturday of every month. So next weekend we're going to be doing block number 1. The classes are available on my website. If you want to purchase those, you will have to get the pattern that's listed in the class though, so make sure to pick up that pattern. I think you can take the class from Holly Quilt Shop as well. Aw, Melody sent over a $20 tip. Thank you so much for that. And she said, this is for some coffee at QuiltCon. I will definitely use that if my sister doesn't use it first. I'm excited to go to Michigan in March because even though I'm teaching a couple of classes, it's going to be a 4-day weekend for me, so I'll get to spend some time with my sister in Michigan. Haven't been there since June, so I'm really excited about that. We may even hit some quilt shops, who knows? Cheryl is asking Alicia if there's a sister fee. You laugh, you joke, but she does occasionally send me Apple Cash request for like $1 or $5 or whatever, and just puts sister fee. Now it's time to sew onto a leader, cut all of those apart and press them, and then we'll add the next round of color. Yeah, she said that one of them expired. They expire after 30 days. I ignore them. Yeah. Cheryl says, I have 5 sisters and I see that fee quite often. Now you can hear some ironing. The sounds of sewing are so soothing to me. Like literally, I feel like I could just do a live stream where I'm not even talking and I'm just doing all of this. Oh, this one I'm going to have to do something with. Let me point it out. Do you see how, because my blocks were a bit wonky, I'm stitching like right next to that end. So I'm going to rip that seam out and reline up the fabric and go back over it, because that's not going to hold over time. It'll probably barely hold through the quilting. So if I'm going to fix it, now's the time. Ow. There we go. Okay, let's try this again. Hey, Dave. Oh, this one I did it too as well. So we're going to fix that. My cotton cuts puzzle. Ah, I did it again. Look, I got a hole. All right, we're going to sew it from the black side this time, which happens to be the back side of the star block. That way I can see if I'm catching the block or not. There we go. This block is going to be wonky as all get out, but it will work. And then one more. Now I'm going to grab my next pile of color, because these are sorted by size. I'm going to put these on across the top. And when I do, the only thing I'm going to look for is to just honestly not put the same color on every block. So I'm going to turn this around like this, because this is the way I'm going to sew it, and I'm just going to start pairing these up. If I have the same fabric that I already added, I'm just going to grab something else. It can be in the same color family, but I don't want it to be the same fabric. There is ombre in this, so worst case scenario, if I did do that, I would still have movement, but I want this to look and feel a bit scrappy. I'm not going to overly worry about color placement here. I'm just going to start putting colors together. I am trusting that the designer of this fabric line, who put all of these lovely colors together inside of the jelly roll, meant it when she said that they all coordinate nicely with each other. So we're going to try that out. This one's pink. I don't want red with it because I feel like it's a little too close. So I'm just going to go into my stack and grab this purple. And then the next one, you know, I'm just going to put the green right there. Why not? I'll do this lighter green on here. You're welcome. She said, thank you for this and all the blocks. I've really enjoyed this and learned a lot. You're welcome. I'm glad you are enjoying. This one's going to be very Christmas block. Or at least it's going to start with Christmas colors. All right, there we go. Those are those, and now we're just going to chain sew all of this together. pick up my stack, and I'm going to turn it so that this is parallel with the side of my machine, because this is where I'm going to stitch. I am going to learn my lesson and stitch from the back side this time. After I sew through all these, I'm going to straighten up my blocks. I'm going to square them up, and I'm going to show you how I do that, because I've been thinking about this over the past week, and I did not take the time, because I was doing it on a live stream, I did not take the time to stop and square up each element along the way. And honestly, if I was just sewing this on my own, I probably would have squared up, but also I probably wouldn't have felt rushed, and I would have had somewhat better results. I felt like I rushed things a little bit, and so now I'm paying the price for that, and I need to find a way to keep all of my blocks from being wavy, and I think I've got a solution, and we'll talk about that after I get all of these sewn. I'll tell you how I'm going to recover from the chaos. It will mean that the two blocks that are hanging up behind me, I'm likely to take those apart and just redo them, but I think it will be worth it in the end. Hello, Sharon, welcome in. And one more. There we go. Need a leader and ender. Here we go. Grammy is asking, how is your mom doing? I miss seeing her. I do too. So mom's doing okay. She has not been up here in a while. My stepdad is having a lot of health problems that they're really trying to work through. And she obviously, for obvious reasons, she does not want to be too far away from him. And so she's not visiting. Also, I'm sure some of you remember she was supposed to move in. She has not done so yet. It'll probably be later in the future. My stepdad, my stepdad is not interested in living here. He wants to stay down there. So his family and stuff is down there. And so it's probably just going to be put off a little while. But she always has a space here for when she wants to come visit. We just got to get her to the point where Rick, my stepdad, is doing well enough so that she can feel comfortable leaving him for a few weeks. Okay, so right now I am just dry pressing this, and it is a little bit wavy. So I'm going to, after I press all of the seams over, I'm going to go get my starch. And I'm going to starch each one of these blocks. And then I am going to get a ruler and I am going to square all of these down to the same size. The beauty of doing a log cabin block like this is I'm not going to lose any points if I trim it down. If I have to trim it off here, the only thing that's going to happen is this border around the block might just be a little bit narrow than the other ones, but I think it's going to be fine. I would rather do that than to have a bunch of wavy blocks and try to get them all worked in. If I take the time to starch and trim them after each full round, then I should end up, it'll be a little bit of extra work, but I should end up with all my blocks the same size, which will be so much easier for me to put together in the end when I assemble the quilt. How is your mother-in-law doing? Wasn't she having health issues too? Yes, she was. My mother-in-law now lives with us. Oh, this one I messed up. My mother-in-law lives with us, but spends a couple weeks here and there with her daughter in Harrisonburg. And right now, she's in Harrisonburg for probably another week, and then she'll come back home. She's doing a lot better. She still has major mobility issues. She's pretty much just chair-bound. She walks with a walker. She's doing okay. I think compared to where she was a year or two ago, definitely a lot better, but she's nowhere near what she was. That fall really did a number on her. She hasn't fully recovered from that. It's so funny because when we moved here, we had not intended for my mother-in-law to live here full-time. We figured she would come visit. It was my parents that were coming, and now it's worked out that my parents come visit and my in-law, my mother-in-law lives here full-time. So, but you know what? I'm just grateful that we have enough space in our home that we can accommodate that, because if we were still living in that small house in our Arlington, there is no way that would have happened. We couldn't have. It would have been no. Well, I won't say it wouldn't have happened. If it needed to happen, it would have happened, but it would have been miserable. Okay. Hey, Martha. Haven't seen you in a minute. How are you? Tony says, it is minus 25 here on the west coast of Michigan. Great, keep it. Martha said, I'm good. I had a super busy and productive week, and now I'm pooped. So we are going to take just a small intermission after I get these blocks sewn, ironed, for me to get up, go grab some water because I am a little thirsty, and grab my bottle of Best Press, which is on the other side of the room. So I will take a short intermission. This would be a great time for you to get up, stretch your legs, use the bathroom, refresh your drink, whatever it is that you need to do that takes you away from the computer or the TV or whatever medium you're using to watch this on. Don't worry, you're not going to miss anything because I won't be here either. So let's take that break and we'll be right back. All right, I am back. I've got my thermostat because it's a little warm in here, so we're just gonna change that. There we go, that'll help. And I got my water. I've already had a couple sips of it. I've got my starch, and now we're gonna get busy with the next step. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do here is grab each of these blocks and I'm going to spritz them with some starch and get them pressed nice and flat. And then after all of these are starched and pressed, I'm gonna pull out my cutting mat and I'm gonna square them all to the same size. So I'll actually go to this view so that you can see a little bit better. I'm just going to give it a little pressy press. Plus, I just like how flat blocks look after you apply some starch. I know that these are wonky, but we're going to fix that when I square them. Should have squared all along, but we can start now. Pretty. This one's very similar to that one. Yeah, you're right, Melody. She says they look wonkier to you than they do on camera. You're right, they do. But also, I'm looking at these and I know that that wonkiness is just going to multiply every time I do a round. And so I'm taking the time to get these a little bit flatter now so that as I'm adding those extra layers, I'm not exaggerating that wonkiness. The snowflake on the blue almost lines up with the green. It does. Almost. Hey, Mary, are you still in the chat? It is going to be pretty. Thank you, Cheryl. She said that quilt is going to be really pretty. Do we have some mystery packages for giveaways? By the way, I think we'll probably be doing giveaway during the Zoom for VIPs on Sunday. So if you have not signed up for the VIP Zoom, if you've not signed up for the VIP membership on the website, you might want to do that. Pop over to the Zoom because we'll be doing a door prize. No giveaways, Ian said. No, we will do. No worries, Mary. We'll send the ones out from last week or the week before, whenever that is, this week, pending weather, of course. But let's do a couple of giveaways. I'll let you pick how many and get everything up and running. The Zoom starts at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock Eastern. All right, those are all squared. So now I'm going to put my iron out of the way so I don't burn myself. We'll take this off of the table and I'm going to bring my cutting mat back in. Sorry, those are all pressed. Didn't mean squared. I have got all of these blocks and I want them to all square up to the same size. I am willing to sacrifice some of the width on the borders around them if I need to. So I'm just going to take a couple of minutes. This is probably the most tedious part of having to do this. I'm going to measure every block and see what they hit at. Ow. Unfortunately, all I've got is this big square ruler. So I'm going to use my mat to see if I can get a gauge on this. So this is just about 10.5 right now. We're going to find the smallest number and square them all up to that one size. This is about 10.5. 10.25. I think they're all going to square up to 10.25 if I'm being honest. So 10.25 is what I'm looking at right now. 10.25, yep. This one can go down to 10.25. It's not smaller than that. That can go to 10.25. That can go to 10.25. That could go to 10.25. That could right at 10.25. Maybe could go down, should go down to 10 because that one was just barely touching 10.25. And if I go down to 10 inches, then I can use a much smaller ruler and do it sitting here. I'll lose a 1/2 inch on every block, but I think it's going to do me wonders as I go further on, and it will mean that my pieces are not cut exactly to the size that I need them to be, but I think we're going to be okay. I'm seriously leaning towards just squaring all of this up to 10 inches. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go with 10 inches. I know that's taking quite a bit off, but again, I'm not cutting the star, I'm just cutting the color around it, and I think that's going to give me better results in the end. So let me get my 10-inch square. Here's what I'm going to try my best to do. I want to keep the block as straight as possible. So I'm going to find the 45-degree line on my ruler, and I'm going to put it through the center of this so that we're keeping the star straight. I'm not focused too much about the colors. I want to try to keep the star straight, I think. Maybe not. All right, so if I'm going to square this up to 10 inches, I want to try to get this so that I'm taking off about the same amount on either side. And so what that means is 2 and 2. Yeah, that's got some floating points. It's hard to see the black lines on the black fabric. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm not going to stress. I'm not going to stress because here's why. When I put all these together, if I don't have the ruler lined up exactly right, then what's going to happen is sometimes that square, that star might be a little bit up to a 1/2 inch or so above the other ones. And all that I'm going to do when that happens is just have a little bit more movement in the quilt, and I'm totally fine with that. So I'm just going to go through, I'm going to lay this down so that I am going through the points, my 5 inches here, my 5 inches here, and I'm going to square it up so that the star is in the center of the block. That's what I'm going to look for. And then whatever I take off of the sides is what I take off of the sides. So I'm going to do the right, turn, there, turn, there, and there. And now I'll have a much tidier squared block. And honestly, when this is all put together, you're not even going to notice that I took off that much off of the sides, but it will give me better results when I go to put all the blocks together. So we're just going to square them all to 10. Yes, movement in the quilt, I think, will make it more interesting, Becca. You're right. We're just going to measure the 5-inch through the center of the top and bottom and the left and right, and then square. And since I'm doing this with a 10-inch ruler, I don't have to do any math. I just find the middle of the block and I go. I'm going to set these over here so I don't get them in the way. That's 5, and that is 5, just like that. I have a rotating cutting mat down here that maybe would be great for this. Maybe I'll pull that out. What do you think? Should I get the rotating cutting mat or just keep going? Also, I think it might be time to change my rotary blade. I feel like I just did that at the start of this project. What about the light bright? Yeah, it's over there. It's not charged. But that could help you see the lines a little bit better on the ruler. For sure. Okay, that's better. I think I'm just not starting to cut it before I get to the ruler, because normally my fabric is all under the ruler and I have ruler extending past the fabric. This time I don't. Oh, my husband's home. How about that? He went out to hang out with the guys tonight. They played some games. They had a game night. But he's back now. See, I did it again. I started cutting after the blade was already on the fabric. There we go. Sorry. You. And I think this is the last one I'm going to square because it's the last one I have in that pile. All right. This is all that I cut off of those blocks. Oops, I just threw it. I aimed for the trash can and I did not hit it. It went on the floor. All right. I am at a good stopping point for tonight, I think, but I want to make sure that the giveaways wrap up. So, Mary, when this giveaway ends, will you just go ahead and pick like 2 or 3 winners, however many you are going to do, and we'll just do, like, we'll just give them, like, just pick one, wait for somebody to acknowledge that they're here, and then once we find them, we'll pick another one instead of running a whole new giveaway. I like both the block and the one with the star and the half log cabin. Both are so pretty. Thank you. 2 more minutes, not a problem. Get your tickets, guys. If you're not in the giveaway, get your tickets. Get your tickets. There's my water. It's like, where'd my water go? Right here. Oh, I am not looking forward to the snow, you guys. Not at all. But knock on wood, I think we'll be okay. I'm hoping. If the power goes out, we do have some battery operated lights. We have a generator, but we were having a hard time getting it started. So I don't know if we'll be able to rely on that. We have a fireplace. We have lots of firewood. So we should be good heat wise. All of that should be good to go. And I've got some hand stitching. So if we do lose power, I'll just work on some hexies. Tiffany said, I don't need your giveaway. I will raid your stash to have stuff to sew with while I'm there. She will. She's not lying. She's not lying. I have some, I have a quilt you can quilt, and Mary would love you for it. She has a chandelier quilt with a piano key border on it that she did when we were in Galveston last year. And it's just sitting there waiting to be quilted. I haven't loaded it yet. So maybe I'll let you quilt that, custom quilt it for. Or you can use the Pro Stitcher on the long arm, whatever. All right, let's go ahead and pick our winners. Yeah, it has not started snowing here, but it will. Becca Booze, congratulations. You've won, so make sure to type in the chat. Let us know that you acknowledge you got the, you're getting the prize. There you are, yay, awesome. So you're gonna send your physical mailing address to mary@sewbecca.com. And Mary's gonna pick another winner. I did see, I think Flicky Chicky asked if I did Facebook. Nope, not tonight. I don't have the computer set up to do that, but we will do it next week. Katie says, I just finished all the pieces for month 1 of the turtle. Yeah, thanks for, I need to get on that. I need to get on that. Alma says it started snowing there in Oklahoma. Oh, it looks like Deb Cornell won the second one. Awesome, Deb. Well, congratulations. Make sure to type in the chat, acknowledge that you see your name, and then you're going to send an email to mary@sewbecca.com with your physical mailing address. And Mary, I just want to confirm, we were only doing 2 giveaways tonight, 2 packages, is that right? Just waiting for confirmation from Mary. Yes, that's correct. Awesome. Great. Thank you, friends, so much for hanging out with me. I'm going to go enjoy the light and the heat before the snow comes and threatens to take it all away. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you stay safe. I hope you stay warm. And I hope you use this as a great excuse to get caught up on some UFOs, because I know I will. I'll see you guys here next week. We will do Facebook. We'll show everybody what you have been working on over the course of the month. We'll be loading the quilt onto the long arm. Ian will be here to join us. So it's going to be a wonderful time. I hope to see you all then. Stay safe, everyone. Stay warm and happy sewing. Bye, friends.